Flamio Hotman, we got a new look at some more scenes from Netflix live action Avatar The Last Airbender this week, so let's break them down together and share what you think about how the characters are looking in the comments down below. I'm especially interested to hear what you all think about Boomie. In fact, let's start with Boomie. There was a very quick look at Boomie in the full trailer. It was just about enough to show how awesome Boomie's earthbending looks, and I feel like Utkarsh Ambudkar does a really good job of encompassing Boomie's movements. Just look at the subtle head movement as he fires those rocks at Aang. Additionally, we also got a recent promo teaser showing more of this fight and more of Boomie in action, which I personally think look really awesome. Now when I was watching this, I was feeling something looks familiar. So if you look at this scene in the live action where Aang dodges the rock. Now if I show you Aang dodging the rock in the animation, look how close and similar these two scenes look. They're almost identical, right? I've not seen anyone make that connection yet, but those of you that are worried about the live action being too detached from the animation, just like that movie which we don't talk about, then I think this is a good example of how Netflix live action adaptation shows the writers and producers either respect the source material enough to use such a similar scene, or at the very least it means they have watched the original animation. Also, I wanted to share a quick insight into the ethnical inspiration for Amashu and Boomie in particular. You see, Albert Kim said he spoke to the original creators and learnt that different parts of the world of which Avatar The Last Airbender is set in are actually representative of different parts of Asia, but he said Amashu is more of a representation of the India subcontinent, parts of Asia that touch India and Pakistan, which starts to make more sense why not just Utkarsh has been cast, because he's an American-born actor whose parents emigrated from India, but also the whole setting of Amashu. So when you take this into account, actually the casting and the setting starts making a lot more sense. Now in addition to this Boomie teaser, we also got a few more promos that were released, which I thought we could cover now. Let's start by looking at Zuko's promo. In the background we hear Zuko talking about his story, exactly like season 1 Zuko did in the animation, how his father banished him till he finds the Avatar, and that's why it's his destiny to find the Avatar. The voiceover also stays true to the lore. He says he's been hunting the Avatar for 3 years, which of course is official canon, so it's nice to see the writers taking that into account. We've seen the first couple of scenes from this promo from the trailers, but the third scene here we haven't seen before, and I think this is Zuko's ship on the way to the South Pole. One comment I will make is that it seems like the live action show has given Zuko more soldiers than he had in the animation. The next promo was for Sokka. Now this one's an interesting one. It seems to be setting up his story of how he wants to find purpose through his season 1 story arc. The first scene he's talking to the Mechanist, which I believe is going to be set on Amashu rather than in the Northern Air Temple. We then see the moment he's on the ground after Aang emerges from the ice sphere, and following that it's a scene which matches the still image we got a while ago where he's in his warrior's uniform. I'm assuming it's outside the Southern Water Tribe gates as he's waiting for Zuko's Fire Nation ship to arrive. Following that, we've got Katara's promo. We see her waterbending at the start in a scene that we've not seen before, and then it's her fight against Zuko in the Northern Water Tribe. We do see the waterbending scroll in this scene as well, which I think is really cool. If you compare it to the animation, it was the Pirates episode where she got her hands on this waterbending scroll. Now I'm not quite sure how she'll get it in the live action because we don't know that any pirates have been cast. But one thing's for sure you can see here, she definitely gets her hands on the scroll. We do then see the Southern Water Tribe, and if I pause it here, I'm assuming this is Wolf Cove, which is Katara and Sokka's home. It does look way bigger than in the animation though. You can see there's a lot more people, and it seems much more evolved than the animation made it seem. Following that, there's another shot of Katara and Zuko fighting. This one's an interesting one. It seems it's set in a forest. I assume this is set during the Jet episode, but it feels like it might also be where we see June and Nyla appear. What's interesting is because Katara is wearing her necklace, it potentially means they've changed the story arc, and maybe Zuko doesn't get his hands on Katara's necklace, which means there must be another way that June and Nyla are hunting Team Avatar. That could be an interesting change. Finally, we got a promo showing Aang. The first scene, it looks like he's showing Katara his airbending outside the crashed Fire Nation ship. I wonder if this is the scene where Katara asks Aang to teach her waterbending, and he then shows her that he only knows airbending. We do also hear Gyatso doing the voiceover, and we hear Aang say that he never asked to be special, suggesting the show will follow along the lines of the animation, where Aang makes it clear he never wanted to be the Avatar. The final shot is of Gyatso himself, which I think is really awesome. I do just hope we get to see a bit of pie bending as well though. And there you have it, those are the promo little trailers that we got across this week for Netflix live action Avatar The Last Airbender. It's really not long to go now, so I hope you're as hyped as I am, and I've got loads more Avatar videos coming your way, so keep a lookout. For now though, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.